they or have diarrhea. Quote tweets. Those are, they might have pornography attached to them. You seem a little confused. Your friend's in fact a different person, has some interesting ideas on biology and AFC reference trans men. Anyway, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Stop arguing with me. Stop arguing with me about everything. And then this is the thing. All I did was just say, hey, like, I know a trans woman who says that, their period is diarrhea. So I mean, that's weird. Is that real? Or do you just eat like I don't know, binge at Taco Bell once a month, same day every month, or something like that? Like, what makes you have diarrhea I don't know. But educate me. What do I know? All I'm saying is I have some facts and I need to draw some conclusions and I need evidence. And if you can help me, oh yeah. Vitamin C
barricades can be used by a settlement's defenders to
if you can help me with evidence, please do so. This person here says this.
The number of barricades
I gotta ask, and I gotta read this because it's not done very well, but I'll try to read what this person meant to say. This is meant to be cruel to me, and I don't know why. I don't know why anybody would want to be cruel to me. All I do all day long is scatter sunshine all along the way. I try to make things better for everyone. I don't know why anybody would want to be mean to me in response, but they do. Richard Pierce, wow, another $20. I work in law enforcement and we're short-staffed. Fewer people have applied for openings in my department than have retired/died. While my outcome is in fact bleak, I have opted to super chat you to make you say the word penis. Penis. How was that? Thank you. I like that you spelled it like peanuts, but without the T and then 2 S's instead. Yeah, I don't mind saying that. $20. Penis. All right. Let me read this cruel tweet that's meant to hurt my feelings. And that's what this is meant to do. I gotta ask. Hold on, let me get this right. I gotta ask. How does the post had my dream and lost it because I'm an ignorant weirdo that refuses to learn and grow as a person phase of your life going? How does the post of your phase of your life going? How is the okay? This is yeah, you're an asshole. You had your job at DC Comics, which must have been your dream come true. Spoiler alert, it really wasn't. Like, it wasn't my dream to work at DC Comics. It never really was. It was my dream to be a comic book artist, not to work at DC. And I've achieved that dream. And I've created some of the best stuff ever, and I'm currently doing Cyberpunk. But this is meant to hurt my feelings. Imagine that. Why so mean? Echo Base Network says, EVS, you look like a whole new man, 20 years younger. Thank you. All right, so it worked. Andrea likes the look too, and that's really all that matters. Here's my response to this. This is terrible that this person would say this to me. To be honest, I've made $5 million drawing Cyberfrog. I bought a big home. Got remarried to my high school sweetheart. You've seen Andrea a lot lately. I appreciate her coming on the show. She's very shy. Have a beautiful new daughter with her. Andrea gave me a baby. I appreciate that. Ava is 5 years old now. And earn extra money making people laugh at SJWs on YouTube. And I gotta say this. The extra money that I earn on YouTube is more than the money I used to make at DC Comics. So just the money that I make on YouTube, like people send me super chats, that money is more than I used to make drawing Green Lantern for DC Comics. I know that's hard to believe, but it is true. That is the truth. So if I'm complaining, it's about Star Wars, and I will complain about Star Wars every now and then, but not life in general. My life is good. Whenever I'm saying something like that, I'm smoking a cigar. I don't know why. Lately, in my old age, I really like to just smoke cigars. That's just where we're at right now. Captain Chookout says, beard looks great. You don't look a day past 45. Good. I'm 2 years younger. But that's how people are. I mean, people are here. All I wanted to know was what was up with trans diarrhea. And what I got instead was a whole raft of abuse that I think was uncalled for. I don't think I deserved it. I think people did not seek to try to understand me as a person. Where am I coming from? You know, what is my philosophy? You guys know. You guys actually do. You know, seek out more information. Like, what does Ethan mean? What the hell does Ethan mean? Like, you guys asked that question. I definitely appreciate it. Bruce Gender Fluid says, you asked for it. Yes, I do. Every single day. I fucking love Twitter. Yeah, there's a whole lot of controversy with Twitter. A bunch of comic book professionals have left Twitter because it was too stressful for them. I don't find it stressful. I find it to be a de-stressor. Let me see. North Viking for $10. That ain't cheap. Says, you're living the dream, and I hope to live the dream. Here's some dream money. Oh, thanks, North Viking. Thank you. I will spend that on a nice cigar. I appreciate you. Thank you. A nice cigar. Brad Frederick says, the 45 pages of Rec look unreal. How many pages total are you thinking? Well, you haven't seen all of them, Brad. I think you... How many pages could you see up on the... Hold on a second here. I don't know. There's a whole other scene. Here's the problem. So I've got about 5 pages of connecting work that I need to do. I have these scenes all spread out. 5 pages of connecting work, and then I've got this whole scene with Lily that needs to be done. And I haven't even started that scene with Lily. That's a good 3 or 4 pages there. So I don't know, and I don't want to say. People are like, well, can you give us a drop dead date? No, I can't. I'm gonna just keep drawing and get it done. Believe me, it's urgent that I finish Wreck Planet. I actually had to do a nice tweet about it, or nice update about it. I haven't updated in a while because I hate doing updates to say I have nothing to say. Holy cow! Hold on a second. First of all, Hooters, yum yum yum, $2. You guess what happened to your beard? I went to my barber shop today. They said they could dye it for me and make it look like there was no gray in it at all. And I said, that sounds great. Let's do it. Made the appointment. And they did it, and I think they did a great job. I really like it, and I'm going to keep it this way, which means I have to go in every 2 weeks for maintenance. But it's not too expensive, and it makes me look my age. I think, I'm getting very serious. But no, I think the past 4 years of my life were intensely stressful and robbed me of my hair's color prematurely, and I don't deserve that. I deserve to have the hair, my beard, the proper color. So I'm going to give myself that. I am also going to get hair plugs. I think I'm gonna do it. If you're like, just go bald, I don't want to. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see if I can get a nice little swoop of hair over my forehead, like I did when I was a kid. Richard Pierce, $50. Thank you. They're very, very, very kind. What do we do? Pierce! I mean, how do you thank people who super chat you $50? I don't know how to do it. I just humbly and sincerely say thank you. That's a tip. We appreciate it. It pays the bills around here so that we don't have to dip into our Indiegogo money. Thank you. Richard Pierce says, I've read comics since like 1990 or so. My first book was Avengers West Coast Annual #2. I love the West Coast Avengers. In the 80s, though. I don't remember it in 1990. I stopped when I got poor and picked it up again in the 2000s and just realized you were the person in Green Lantern in the 2005s or so. Thanks for the entertainment. Yeah, I started Green Lantern in 2004, and I would say that there's no need to be humble about this. I think I was the definitive Green Lantern artist of the first decade of the millennium. Okay, so from like 2005 when my first book came out until around 2009, Blackest Night, when I kind of stepped away from Green Lantern, did a few more things here and there. I think I was the biggest artist and the most important artist of Green Lantern in the 2000s. 2010 to 2020, that would be Ivan Rice or Doug Monkey or one of these guys. But these guys were working off of what I had established. So I would say Ivan Rice just for the quality of his work, the consistency. But he got to draw everything that I laid down and created. So, I don't know. I appreciate that, Richard. Thank you. Yeah. And there's no need to be humble anymore. When you're humble until SJWs want to tell you that you don't mean anything. SJWs want to kind of take away all of my accomplishments and pretend I didn't exist and say that you're meaningless and not. Well, I'm going to stop being humble and pretending. Like, I was I saved Green Lantern from people like Jamal Igle, from people like Ron Mars, the very people who are on social media right now telling you that you don't matter and that you are a Nazi, denigrating the fans, saying that comics is not a customer service business. Those people had ruined Green Lantern for 20 years until Jeff Johns and I came on board and fixed it. And we had to undo everything that they did. And I had to look at what Jamal Igle was doing and other artists like him and say, this ain't doing it. This ain't cutting it. This is not cool. I don't want to read this. This doesn't look like what Green Lantern is meant to be. Let me think. Let me stop looking at what the prior artist did and just kind of blandly, like a numbskull, just follow who was before me. Let me go back to the very beginning and look at what Gil Kane laid down. And let me think about what he meant Green Lantern to be. And let me see what I can do to bring it back to that level of greatness again. And that's what I did. I was not a Green Lantern fan. And that's probably what made me one of the best Green Lantern artists that ever lived. Because you can go through Green Lantern decade by decade and you can establish, the 1960s was Gil Kane. The 1970s was Neil Adams. The 1980s was Joe Staton. The 1990s would have been Darryl Banks. 2000s was me, yours truly, and then Ivan Rice and whoever's doing it now. I don't know, who cares? But that's the thing, and it's just all about thinking things through and trying to produce something that's better, respecting the audience, trying to give them something that they can think about and that'll launch their imagination. Let me see. OCV is here. $10 says, I like the new look. Here's a little something for the next appointment. Thank you for $10. I appreciate that. Robot Head is here. Wow, $10 says, Ethan, you have taken 10 years off. Screw aging, though I would have preferred a Flora color to annoy more people. Shout out to Data Racer in the chat. Hello, Data Racer. Hello, Robot. You guys are great. And I want to talk to you guys about, do we care anymore? All right, if we care about, what the Fandom Menace's original mission statement is, do you want to regroup or do you want to just let it go? Because I don't even know anymore. I just watch all this stuff and it's embarrassing. I watch it and it's embarrassing. It doesn't seem like it's purposeful. It doesn't seem like it's well planned or directed. It seems like it's all based on luck and it's not based on a real agenda that would shame Disney or Warner Brothers or any of these studios. It seems like it is just, boy, we hope everything fails. Everything is not going to fail. Your boy's acted a fantastic video. I love Zach lately. He has been on the ball and not afraid to just challenge what everybody is saying and thinking. He's got his own, yeah, boy, Zach. He's got his whole other ideas, his whole other philosophy. Here we go. This is the video in question. Let me watch this with you. A little bit of this. And we've watched some Zach videos before. Usually when my throat hurts and I can't talk very much. Today I'm fine. But let's watch this anyway. Bad news. People you don't like will continue to be successful, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is Zach putting the smackdown on the Fandom Menace and everyone else who is sort of adjacent to the Fandom Menace. And I hope people hear this.
It's your boy Zach. I'm in here in the warehouse, government wing, spare bedroom, packing up the stretch goals.
Holy shit, Zach.
You need a standard term when you work with businesses. So of course I'm listening to Perch videos and I have my own response. Although barely, this is like a response to seeing something, just a title. So Shang-Chi came out, and it did really, really well. I think it did like 70.
Let me just take a moment. This channel is called Comics Matter with your boy Zach. If you have not subscribed to it, you are missing one of the key players in the culture war. If you care about comics, if you care about all of this stuff that sort of surrounds and orbits comics, I mean, we're coming from the comic book industry, right? Like, that's where we exist. And we care about mostly comics, but movies and cartoons and anime and all of this stuff that sort of surrounds it, it's all part of it. And, you want to kind of, if you care about that stuff, you want to subscribe to Comics Matter with your boy Zach. Now, YouTube beats down his channel like they beat down mine, but I saw that he jumped up 1,000 to he was at 107 for a year. He moved up to 108, and I was like, yes, 108,000. All right, so here we go.
This weekend, which is good, but more so, it's above the expectations. I also saw an Overlord DVD saying Kathleen Kennedy is getting an extension on her contracts, and then I'm also seeing people claiming that successful crowdfunding campaigns are suspicious. And I have bad news for everyone. People you don't like will continue to be successful, and you're just gonna have to deal with it without cope, without rewriting history, without subscribing to ridiculous and contradictory conspiracy theories. So the deal with Marvel is that
doesn't mean you have to like it. The thing about like Kathleen Kennedy getting her contract renewed and everything that Zach says here doesn't mean you have to like it. But it is going to happen anyway. I mean, it just is going to happen. So accept it and then figure out a way around all this.
Well, I would say even like normies are kind of like, these are kind of all the same. There would honestly have to be like 5 years straight of mediocre to subpar to terrible Marvel movies before the Marvel brand was significantly damaged. It's been 10 years of solid to above average, but more importantly, dependable stuff. As much as everyone talks about Captain Marvel, I brain dumped most of it, but it wasn't terrible. It was just really generic and also kind of like weirdly cheap. Like a lot of the sets were just like a factory, a warehouse. Like, okay, are you guys on a budget? But it's always going to do good. So everyone predicts, Black Widow's going to do terrible. It did pretty good. Shang-Chi's going to do worse. It did better. Eternals is going to be a flop. It's going to make a massive profit.
Unfortunately, yeah.
It's a well-oiled machine. And also, just with brands, 10 years of normies seeing the Marvel logo and all the comic pages flipping, it's literally Pavlovian response. They're going to say an okay movie is good, a good movie is great. And none of the movies have been just god-awful, terrible. You walk out, like Assassin's Creed. I walked out of that shit because it was awful. That first Doom movie with The Rock, and then the sequel was, or not the soft reboot, like, there's actually terrible movies. Just because you don't like a decision made at Marvel Comics or whatever, or something that Hulk said on social media, boy, it's gonna be weird when people listen to these videos in 100 years. Like, was there an illusion? Did they think that was real? Whatever the actor, he's in Now You See Me. So he says something woke and it bothered you. Nothing is gonna stop Trump being reelected. I mean, nothing is gonna stop Marvel movies being super massively successful because they have consistently turned in above average product, and that's what it is. There's occasionally art in certain scenes, certain
No. He didn't say they were going to be good, guys. He said they were going to be successful. I mean, Marvel, the MCU has conditioned people now. Whenever there's a new Marvel movie, just average Joes, just normies turn up at the box office. It's just going to keep happening. Now, there are some movies that are going to be bigger than others, but to wait to see an actual disastrous movie, I don't know if I don't know if we can expect that just because it doesn't look that great.
It's mainly a product, and it's a consistent, dependable product, so it's going to do good. Kathleen Kennedy is going to get deal after deal after deal until the day she dies, and then she will be lauded because her name has been on movies that have made billions of dollars. One of the most awkward things is to listen to videos by people I like, and they're bringing up all the terrible things she's said and done, and then they mention that like every movie she's done is highly profitable, and even the quote flops are still profitable. I mean, maybe they're not as much as projected, but like it's like, oh, this underperformed at only $200 million profit. Like Marvel's going to continue marveling it up. They're always going to be successful, and Kathleen Kennedy is going to get deal after deal after deal until the day she dies, and then they will build a statue of her outside every studio she's ever worked. Like, just because you like, or just because you don't like someone doesn't mean that a lot of other people do, or even if they don't like them, they're going to look at it in an unemotional way. One of the things I'm seeing right now, and this has it's been around for years, but this theory that crowdfunders, specifically Comicsgate, are faking it. Like, they're all taking, when one person gets a payout, they then give it to the next person and the next person, the next person. It's like, what the Now, I know some of the usual suspects are actual, like, schizophrenics, but this is insane. First of all, you got to pay taxes on that stuff. Second of all, the level of trust required for this, and it also requires a bunch of people to make money elsewhere and then just buy their own comics as an elaborate vanity project. Just to, no, God, no, you freaking crazy people. While occasionally, I will buy one copy of my other, friends' books, I am not going to give them hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars just so we can, what do they say, own the libs? It's completely insane. So one of the things is that now some projects are doing hundreds of thousands at relatively achievable, like they're like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So they're getting like $100,000 off of 1,000 backers. You're like, how is this possible? Let me introduce you to simple math. You know what I mean? There's a single book that's $25, but then you get to put on the postage, but then you get to put on the add-ons.
Okay,
and then
all right. So Zach is trying to prove now that the conspiracy theory about comic skaters money laundering, just circling the same money around, is not true, but it's every bit the same as this idea that Disney movies are going to suddenly collapse. It'd be great because we don't like them, but it just isn't going to happen that way. Just the same way that Comicsgate Comics or Comicsgate is going to stop happening. We're going to keep happening. We're going to keep succeeding. We've had some great successes this past month. We're going to have many, many more to come. And there's nothing any of the people who hate us, there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing. So the answer isn't to sit around and hope for, us to fail or them to fail. That's just not going to work. What's actually going to work is to stop supporting Disney product. Stop talking about it. Stop going to see it. This idea that I'm going to see it so that you don't have to is bullshit. You're still supporting them. You're talking about them. You're giving them word of mouth. And not only that, this is the worst thing about it. The worst thing about it is you basically made yourself the enemy. So now all people have to do is go, do you want to be like this guy? Do you want to be like, the Fandom Menace? Do you want to be like these people? Because we're here to tell you that they're, white Nazi, whatever, white nationalist Nazis who take orders straight from Steve Bannon. That's what they're doing. So basically the choice becomes you or Disney, and it's going to be Disney every time. I would love to see some effective counter operations happening from our side of the aisle. I would love to see that happen. I would love to see better product. I would love to see more communication and more cooperation. I would love to see people actually striving and stepping out to make new platforms, make new stuff, make alternatives. And you can say, well, how could we possibly ever compete with Disney? Disney was just a man. He was just a guy in the 1930s who came up with a little mouse and had a friend. What was his name? UBI Works or something like that. UBI Works. And together they started a little animation studio that became bigger because he had vision and he had talent and he had all of these things. Marvel Comics was just Stan Lee. It was just Stan Lee, the brainchild of one frustrated comic book storyteller who got sick of the politics of the 1950s in comics and decided to do it himself. Does any of that sound familiar to you? This right now is an important moment in history. We are seeds. We are all seeds that could be planted. We could become big, gigantic oak trees, just like Disney is, but we have to start somewhere. We can't just constantly be hitting the big oak tree with a stick. We have to plant seeds. We have to actually try. You know, or else nothing. Or else no, we lose. It's just as simple as that. So, I mean, again, this matters to me. This is something that I care about. I actually really care about this. I want to make a difference because it has had a profound effect on my life. My life personally has been affected by SJWs, by cancel culture, by far left-wing radical politics in our pop culture. It has been affected in a real way. People who are on my show, Comicsgate Kings, Monday at 7 p.m., they are also gentlemen who've been affected by the same people, by the same phenomenon, by the same political activism. Now, the answer isn't to criticize that activism and say, this isn't very good. This movie isn't very good. Yeah, you can convince people that these movies and comic books aren't very good, but then what do you do? Where do they go from there? Unless you have some alternative, some other answer. You know, they're just going to go, well, that's what there is, though. That's what's, might not be delicious, but that's what's in the refrigerator right now. So go F yourself. I would love to see a little more coordination and fewer opportunities. You know, if the question is, and the only question was, hold on a second, let me look this up here. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show you how easily we get bamboozled here. It's so embarrassing. Can I find it? Let me look up photos. When the only question is Shang-Chi going to lose money or make money? When that's all we're saying. We're saying it's going to be a bomb, and everybody says that together. All that has to happen is that the movie makes money. That's all that has to happen to just make the entire movement look stupid. And it did. And these people just all got together and just made fun of us for it. And I say us. I care too. I care about you know, these people who, I can't find it now. There's a meme going around with like 12 different like thumbnails saying Shang-Chi's going to lose money, MCU's first bomb, and then just a big LOL over it. And it's being passed around by social justice warriors because that was it. That was all we had to say. All we had to say was this movie was going to lose money. We didn't say anything about the fact that Disney's cozying up to the Chinese. We didn't make fun of Disney for going up to and trying to cuddle up to the Chinese at a time when China had officially banned effeminate men. I mean, you know, and presumably gays, you know, from the pop culture. Why would Disney want to be a part of that? And yet they're trying so hard. We just didn't have a good argument. I don't know. I would like to. What can I say? Let's do better. Let's try harder. I can say that till I'm blue in the face. You know, sometimes I do feel like, sometimes I do feel like I'm the only one, you know, who cares about this stuff. And if that's the case, then we're in real trouble because I'm just one dude and I'm not that smart. I need smarter people than me. Let me read some super chats here, and thank you for sending them again. These are tremendous. A $100 super chat from Richard Pierce. Here, thanks. He says, okay, Ethan, at this point, I'm just drunk, so I don't have much to say beyond thank you, sir, for giving me entertainment. As a law enforcement officer in a time when everyone hates me, I need escapism. Thank you, good sir. Cyberfrog is enjoyable. Bless you. Bless the police. You know, bless you, good people who go out there and put your lives on the line every single day just to make it so that we can be safe. You know, thank you for protecting personal property at the risk of your own life. It's absurd, and we need you. And the fact that the police are so badly disrespected in society right now is disgusting. It's disgusting. It makes zero sense to me. Thank you for that super chat. Joseph Lowe, thank you for $20. That ain't cheap. Ethan, you and Comicsgate are more than I think people realize. Speaking from just my side, but you all helped me a lot. Comicsgate books remind me of the books from the 80s and 90s. Thank you for all that you do. I appreciate that. Please clap. I don't want to play that. Negative marketing is a thing. They rely on outrage to boost mediocre product. That's what I'm trying to say. All they have to do is say, see all the people who are upset, and then call them names, and then say, go see our movie. Yes. And we could do the same thing. We could sit there and point out the SJWs in comics, and we do this. We point out SJWs and their terrible behavior in comics and say, this is the alternative. Let's be better than them. Monster Mania is here. He says, happy belated birthday, Ethan. Looks like you got some Just for Men as a present. Hope you enjoyed Bill Burr. I did. Bill Burr was really fun. More importantly, it was great to get out with my wife, go to Atlantic City, lose $1,000 at blackjack. That sucked, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It was fun. Project's done poorly. $5 says Disney SJW sucks. I get it. That content and message gets old quick. Now you versus John versus Drunk Cecil versus Narwhal. That's classic. There's something going on right now which is just unbelievable. I never thought I would see this happen. John Malin is a champion. John Malin is an amazing, amazing creator, but also an amazing and beloved internet presence. People love John Malin. His campaign, Godlike the Romulus Saga, is doing great, right? Look at this, 197. Let me refresh this just to see if there's any more. Oh my God, yes. We are approaching $200,000 for John Malin, 2020 backers, and it's because of this. Godlike by John Malin, the Romulus Saga. Yeah, he's been working on this for a little while. He kept it secret from us. We didn't even know what the title of the book was. We didn't see any artwork from it. But now that we have, I mean, you can see that it is absolutely sensational. John Malin is a gift to mankind. He is. John Malin's amazing. So back Godlike, right? Of course you're going to back Godlike. If you're collecting Comicsgate books, like many of you are, and I know this because I see it. Like, this is why I love Twitter. I go on Twitter and people tweet at me pictures of their collection of Comicsgate books. And you just see how great it is to be collecting comics and be collecting indie comics and to be a part of a movement that actually creates new stuff, right? We make stuff for ourselves. So if you haven't backed Godlike yet, you do not want this to be missing from your collection. Now, at the same time, Shane Davis, this past week, launched his campaign. Now, we thought Godlike was successful. It is successful. Well, we thought Godlike was a big deal because this is John's third book. It's doing better than his second book. It is great. Shane Davis shipped out his cat book, Starlight Cats. Everybody loves Starlight Cats. They weren't expecting to like it, I think, as much as they do. But they do really, really like it. Now, Shane Davis launches Inglorious Rex, and he actually, he's competing with John Malin. I've never seen anything like this. John Malin is class of 2018 Comicsgate. He is vintage Comicsgate. Shane Davis is recent. He's from last year, 2020. And yet, the pupil is going to defeat the master.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters, so now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the chains. Can't control me. I got the power, I got the keys, cause I break the chains. They try to hold me, I'ma push back.
Yes, Inglorious Rex, monster martial arts from Shane Davis. This book just came out of nowhere. And I mean, it raised $135,000 in the first 24 hours. We don't see successes like that very often. So Shane Davis talking a little trash. He actually said to John Malin, your whole thing is grab an oar. I say, why not grab 2 oars? And everybody went... And Malin said, how does somebody... You can't row 2 oars unless you're in a special boat. You need 1 oar, 1 paddle. I'm talking about a little boat. John Malin didn't recognize what Shane Davis was talking about. Shane Davis is talking about being on a rowing team, just everybody working in unison to make a boat go faster. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Why not 2 oars, says Shane Davis. Why just 1 oar? Why grab 1 oar when you can grab 2? And that has been the message of Inglorious Rex. Rising star MMA fighter Alex Stone steps in for the first time into the world of Rex fighting, where 20 tons of genetically manipulated clones are hitched to the neural systems of their human pilots, twisted together in no-holds-barred, high-stakes cage fighting. In this fist-pumping, pulse-pounding listen to that language, graphic novel, Alex's unlikely rise as an underdog piloting his late brother's Rex will set him on a collision course with the fighter that holds the crown, the same man that killed his brother. Alex will have to confront the reason he stepped into the cage while waging a winner-takes-all battle for the title of Rex champion. This is a passion project that's been almost 10 years in the making. Look at this artwork from Shane Davis. Look at this. It's incredible. Yeah, this does look good. Damn it, Shane. Yeah, so it's, you plug into these monsters. These become sort of your avatars or something like that. It's fighting. It's mixed martial arts with monsters. Glory awaits. Inglorious Rex. Perks, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, the booty cover here. They had to put a black bar over this because I guess it's almost like... It's not indecent, but I guess it is indecent. I didn't know the booty could ever be indecent, but it is here. I backed this comic twice. I had to back the sketch tier. I had to. I mean, it's just too great. I hope you're going to back it too. But this is the question. Can Shane Davis, who is only 5 days into his campaign, catch up to and overthrow John Malin, who is already 5 weeks into his campaign? And I mean, there's only like a tiny amount of money that separates them, relatively speaking. 198 roughly. I mean, $198,000 for John Malin versus 150 to about $40,000, $45,000. I would not be surprised to see Shane Davis overthrow the great John Malin. Could happen, guys. And if you watch us on YouTube, I mean, pay attention when those two guys get together and they're streaming together. It is fun. It is fun to watch these two guys right now. They're having the two of those guys are putting on quite a show. Just enjoying the competition. John Malin remastered a Transformers clip, from the Transformers movie. I wish I could show it to you, but I'm afraid my channel will get struck. Where he compared himself to Optimus Prime and Shane Davis's Megatron. And there's the whole "you got the touch," like that whole thing is going on. So that is really fun. He just to compare himself to that is fantastic. All right, let me see what goes on here. Let me read some super chats and get caught up, and then we're gonna get onto the stories of the day. This is important. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. Wow, a lot of super chats. All right, let me scroll backwards. Zero Shade says, John Delarose is here for $2. He says, "Hail Trump, hail Comicsgate." Loretta Silver Member says, your beard, yuck. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some people are not going to like it. We appreciate your beards of color inclusivity, says Big Tex. Gimpy Troll for $5 says, hey, Uncle Lee, glad you stayed out of making Shang-Chi rage bait vids. Yes, it was embarrassing seeing all the usual channels walking things back yesterday. Get Over It says, if you get a minute, check out the Veil Walker that launched today. Also looking good. Veil Walker launched today. Oh, that's cool. That's OCV's. We'll have to take a look at it. J Bomba fan. Nice spray on beard, Hulk Hogan. The Alt Jesse Milestone says, you looked 65 2 months ago. Now you look 66. How does that? F Off Well Red says, you have chocolate cake on your face, CBS. Headrock says, congrats, you look even more ridiculous than usual. Come on, you'll get used to it, you children. Kamikaze says, they never said it was going to fail. Mainstream media wrote articles about the movie failing. The videos are just of YouTubers reading those articles. Does it sound like a trap to you, Kamikaze? Was that a trap? Matt Cisco says, good choice in coloring your hair, too. You can't see roots coming in on a bald man. Larry Romano says, looking Jack, baby. Jay Siebert says, agreed, stay away from all this rage baiting. Just keep focused, Ethan. I do have some questions about Camel Moon. Yeah, we answered that question. Alex Jones and tranny porn. Let me see. Jabba the Cuck, or Jabba the Coach, he calls himself now, but he'll forever be Jabba the Cuck to me. He says, you look like a fagert, whatever you do. Thank you. Her in the Steadfast says, looking quite dapper, Uncle E. Ashen Jackal says, new gloss on Graveyard Shift Volume 3 is nice, John. Data Racer 117, thanks for $10 and a heart. Cars in Depth says, have you seen Hut's new video, now Patriot Hut? No, I haven't. I saw that because I looked for myself on YouTube. I saw that he had like 3 new videos about me, but I didn't watch them. Not yet. Should I watch them? All right, hold on a second here. We got a little bit of a guest with us today. Somebody beloved by everybody here, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, bring it.
Oh, bitch! That's what I'm talking about right there on that board! Oh, bitch! That's what I'm talking about right there on that board!
Well, hello, young man.
Hello. Look, we look like brothers now.
How are you?
I'm great, man. I feel awesome. I got my cigar ready to go.
You look great. Great. That came out wonderfully, man.
Yeah, I was worried about it. I showed you guys in the private room, some scary looking photos.
They weren't scary. I mean, let's be straight up, man. The first time I did it, what's up, chat? I want to say what's up to the chat. First time I did it, I put it on and I went, oh shit, this is a big mistake because it came on dark. I look like Hulk Hogan from NWO.
Yeah,
I was like, this is not going to look good. I'm going to look like some silent film villain,
Mm-hmm.
But it washed out great. It washed out nice and natural, like yours.
Yeah, I mean, and again, they did it all around.
That looks good, man.
I mean,
I did mine. I just do mine with my wife got me, that you get all those Facebook ads for bald dudes, and Facebook listens, and she always says, she calls me Baldy all the time. She doesn't. But she got, for Christmas, she got me one of those little, 90-second hand shavers to maintain, so it's a lot easier.
Juvenilian says, no, it really didn't come out wonderfully, unless you mean he looks gay now. What's gay about it?
I think, Jude, that's projection. I mean, if he's turning you on, then it's gay.
That's right. Let me see here. Hyper Wizard for $5 or £5 says, so I assume Shane will be drawing the cover to the Art of John Malin. We could do a variant. I got a Shane Davis Cyberfrog piece that I haven't used yet. We could definitely do that. That's coming out really good. We've got I don't know if you've seen any of this yet, but the Cyberfrog Art of John Malin, one of the things that I've done is I've taken all of his sketch cards that he did. His sketch cards were exquisite, Yeah, and I'm getting them colored, and they're going to be reproduced at full size. I've got Ink Spots. Do you know Ink Spots?
Yeah, he's great. Ink Spots is a fantastic artist. Colors as well, but fantastic artist.
He's really, really good. He's taken these John Malin cards and he's coloring them up. They were black and white originally, just black and white line art drawings, and they just look exquisite. They look amazing. The
John, you could color John with Crayolas, and you're going to be okay.
Yeah, but even still, I told those guys, I'm like, get in there, and I mean, I need your best work on all of these cards, and they're just doing a fantastic job. You know, I've got him doing like 12 of them. I've got Gabe El Tayeb doing another 12 of them, and I'm gonna get
too.
He's a
you know all the good guys.
Yeah,
I know a few myself. But you got quite the stable, man. I got some John Malin news.
What's your John Malin?
Well, you know, he's been calling me on the carpet for not having a belt for Fragtober last year. And what's really weird, and this is, I'm a firm believer in Jesus and God and just serendipitous things. I started looking at belts and pricing them out because we're going to be doing Fragtober again. And I got this email this morning from a guy named Freddie Rodriguez. He goes by Fraud 76.
Sure.
And he hit me up and he said, "Listen, I know you're going to do this. I don't know if you've done it yet, but I've gone ahead and had you a belt made." So one of our backers, our fans, had this professionally made for Fragtober. I'm gonna take a look at it. He's sending it to me. I want to make a video of it, but this gets sent to John Malin. John Malin's the current belt holder, and when it comes to Fragtober, he's the one to defeat. But I didn't have anything to do with this design. This was designed by Freddie. He designed it better than I could have. I actually, my slowdown was I didn't know what to put on there. And he did it. So this is the Fragtober belt. It's, the current champion is John Malin. The front of it says Fragtober, AAT, for life, art contest champ. And then on the back it says be and do your best, which is the words I live by every day. Even if I feel like shit, what's the best I can do feeling like I feel? So a big thanks to Freddie Rodriguez. If you guys see Fraud 76 in the chat or on Twitter,
thank you, Freddie Rodriguez.
Yeah, big love.
So what's Shane Davis's belt going to look like when he takes it from John?
It's October? This is the belt. If he takes it from Shane, he takes this belt. This is the belt. And if you come and take it, this is your belt. And you take pictures with it. And you could take pictures on the toilet. You can take pictures of eating a burger, whatever you want to do. Once it's your belt, it's your belt. So right now, this is John Malin's belt.
That's incredible. Yeah. That is incredible. All right, very cool. Looking forward to Fragtober. I think everybody is.
I'm excited.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
That John Malin comic book, by the way, that we're doing right now. It's the Cyberfrog Art of John Malin is available on our current campaign, Cyberfrog Blood Honey box. If you haven't backed it yet, make sure that you do. Get a stuffed box, one of everything, or you can just get the John Malin Cyberfrog by John Malin ash can for $10.
I got the box. Do I get it?
No. Is it stuffed?
I got the stuffed box. That's the one I got.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, because I didn't know if I needed to come back, man.
No, I mean, this is the subscription to the campaign. If you back stuffed box, one of everything, I'm going to be adding some more stuff.
Stuff my box, man.
Yeah, you're going to be getting, you'll be getting everything that I do and I add to this campaign. So you can just sit back and go, yeah, I'm getting